Welcome, Saber enthusiasts. I am Nick Nitro, and I am the Lord of the Crucible, and today we have the Aftermath Report, the results of the testing of the Kyberlight V4, which you can see here in front of me. Actually, it was a very interesting testing phase. Had few unexpected events, but let's just kind of work our way through the damage that we have here. So, for the most part, it looks like it did relatively well. I mean, you can obviously see right here, all of the fingers of the crowned emitter got bent in. You can't fit a blade or a blade plug in there anymore. The good news is that that is completely removable. It's just a cosmetic piece. It is not necessary for the saber to function. But it is a little tight on there. Now this decorative screw here actually did take a little bit of a bend to it, but nothing major. Perhaps the most dramatic pieces of damage that occurred were on the initial log chop. This is the tip of the blade. Now, when that broke apart, and it did break, there were no threads, it wasn't glued in, that just broke into 3 pieces. This is the first piece, which fortunately didn't travel very far. Piece number 2 is still currently whereabouts unknown. And finally, piece number 3 is still embedded in the tip of the blade right there. So that was rather interesting, but I think I know why that occurred. I'm going to try and get a close-up of it. I don't know if the pictures turned out well. We'll see in editing. But during the tip test, I actually kind of overextended my swing and clipped the support post for the horse mat. So this actually nailed the 4x4 wooden post and may have actually set up a fracture within the tip, which is why that kind of like shattered like it did. That, however, does not explain the next bit of damage, which occurred on the 3rd strike of the log chop, which you can see right here. This is the base of the blade, and yeah, it completely broke apart and helped set a brand new distance record for shrapnel in the Crucible of 48 feet. Now, the whole blade went flying. This is why I say nobody should be doing this stuff at home. It's not exactly safe. This is what was left in the hilt of the saber right here. Now, my best guess is that this broke apart right where the blade retention screw was holding everything together, and it just shattered there. Now, Kyberlight does build their blades as unbreakable, which you have to take kind of tongue-in-cheek. Given enough force, anything will break. And it did take quite a bit, let's be honest. Now, their replacement policy, if I had bought this blade from Kyberlight themselves, all I would need is a picture of the blade, and they would ship a new one out to me right away. This is if I am reading their website correctly. Always double check the information, double check the warranty. But I bought this used on Facebook Marketplace, so any warranties, yeah, they don't apply to me. And with what I do, the warranties may not apply anyway. So, that being said, I love their warranty policy. I think it's absolutely fantastic. One day I'm going to get another blade, run that through the test, and maybe I'll have a chance to test out the warranty itself. In the meantime, we did have some other issues cropping up. On the CoverTech wheel here, it's right on this edge here. I doubt you're going to be able to see it. I'm trying to get that lined up. But there is a little bend in on this top flange of the CoverTech wheel. And it will no longer seat into a CoverTech clip anymore. So the wheel is currently decorative until I get a new one. However, the good news is that it didn't affect the threads of the screw at all. So that's going to be an easy fix. One thing you probably heard during the drop test was the speaker. And yeah, that was very, very interesting. Alright, a little on the careful side here. This is the whole chassis system, but here's the speaker, and here is why we were getting such drastic variation in the sound. Oh, did you actually stick back on? That'll be it. Nope, there it is. This whole thing came completely apart. When I took it apart, this is exactly what happened. It came out in these three pieces. So, this is the bottom of the housing. This is, of course, your actual speaker cone here. And this is the magnetic driver, which comes into contact with the two electrical contacts here. Now, when this is in here and making good contact, you get sound. When there's bad contact, you get nothing. Needless to say, I'm going to try and press fit this together. It might hold for a little while. Let's find out. This might be loud. Hey, we've got sound, but nowhere near as loud as it originally was. So, that being said, I need a new speaker. But the good news is, I might have to take a follow-up shot here later on. But this is where the speaker connects. There's no soldering involved. The speakers over at Kyberlight are $10. Get a new speaker, swap that out. It's all good. But something else came out of the lightsaber hilt when I opened it up the first time. And that would be this piece right here. And that looks like a piece of hot glue. And typically, that's what's holding these buttons in place. And that seems to suggest that I've got button issues, which we already know I do. Let's go ahead and slide this back in here. The fact that I can still finagle sound out of this is just amazing. So, let's remove the rest of the sleeve. Now, I really do think that the accent pieces here, both the emitter shroud and this sleeve, actually had the net effect of acting as a shock absorber, protecting most of the lightsaber itself. Because here there's a little bit of a gap. May not be much, may not do a whole lot. And I can't really even tell if there's a dent or anything in the sleeve. Let's fire this up one more time. As you can see here, we're not getting any color change or any change of the sound font. Number one, you can tell the buttons are not held in place anymore. Probably hot glue in there. It kind of shattered. So the buttons just come out easily. You see this one is completely intact, which is why it still works. This one has a wire that is not connected. So we're gonna have to do a little repair on that, and I might actually be able to get that button functioning again. There you have it. That is the Kyberlight V4. The charge port seems to be working fine. It is not a champion saber. It's not going to receive the champion status, but it held on. It does have a degree of tenacity. So as far as would I recommend this saber? Actually, yes, I would. For someone just starting out, getting an idea for what kind of lightsaber they like, this actually would be a really good saber to start with, even with the V4 board. Now, from what I understand, the V5 boards are a massive improvement over the V4s. I still really like the fact that you can customize these. They have so many options so that you can, create a saber that is to your design, your look, and just have a blast with it. So, would I recommend this saber? I would not recommend it for heavy combat dueling. No. Light to mid-level dueling, yes. But definitely not competition level. I would definitely recommend it for cosplay, absolutely. And even as a prop in a fan film, that would be perfectly fine. It's a very rugged rugged hilt. It does really well. The blade is heavier than what I prefer, but it is a thicker walled blade. But for everyday use, it is really solid, and they've got a great warranty on their blades. So yes, I would recommend this, especially if you're just starting out with lightsabers. Find out the features that you like. Is a recharge port for you? Are multiple sound fonts for you? For some people, it's not. And for some people, they just want something that looks good on a shelf. And it's good for that too. If you find the information that I have generated here at all useful, by all means, please go ahead and obliterate that like button down there. And do the same thing to the subscribe to keep abreast of when I've got new videos coming out. And by all means, share this with everyone on your contact list, on your friends list. The more people that we can get into lightsabers, I feel the better. The more opinions we've got, and the more options we'll end up having. So, I'm Nick Nitro. I am the Lord of the Crucible. And today, the Crucible has spoken.